Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop on this glorious summer's day. Today on the bench we have a DeWalt 5 power 18 volt batteria. This suffered greatly from the Great Fire of 2025. I have a feeling it got absolutely filled with water from when the fire brigade put the fire out in the workshop. So we've got absolutely nada, no ligates. And then when you put it into something like a drill, this has just been put on charge and it said it was fully charged. So it will give you a... So it was fast for a second, and I think the more you can hear it is... It's dying a death big time there. So when you put it on the charger, it will charge for 10 seconds maybe. So what we're going to do today, we're going to split this up, split it apart, have a look inside. I'm wondering what is wrong. I wonder if it's just corrosion. They say it's been I think it's been completely filled with water. It's probably like a fish tank in there still. I wonder if one of the batteries has failed, one of the cells, maybe two, and that's drawn that sort of lowering the overall voltage. I suppose we could give it a quick test now. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Let's have a look and see what the voltage is. I have my trusty multimeter, which I will chuck in an auto DC. I think it's just the outer pins on this. So we've got, hopefully you can see that okay, so 15.6 volts. So we've got another battery here. This one is 3 ligates. Let's see what sort of voltage we should be expecting for something that's fully charged. Come on, pins, where are you? These aren't the best probes, to be honest. At 19.4 volts there. So that's what a fully charged battery should be. And then this is a little bit less. So I'm guessing, I say, one of the cells has probably failed and it's dropping the voltage throughout. So let's have a quick look. I think we'll whip this open and have a look inside. So I've been busy over the last couple of months trying to repair the workshop. It's been a bit of a nightmare. Of course, council don't want to know. They say to, for those who don't know, the tenant, my neighbour, who's a council tenant, so he has his own no home insurance for himself and things like that. He decided to basically have a little bonfire in his garden. So he lit up an incinerator bin, getting rid of some documents apparently, some cardboard, which I don't know why, don't ask me why. And then he proceeded to leave the bin after it was, look at the rust in there, look. So he left the bin after he'd done his business and went inside. And next thing you know, oh wow, look at that, that doesn't look good. Does not look happy in there. So yeah, so he left the bin smouldering. Long story short, it jumped to the fence, which then tracked down the fence, set my hedge on fire, and then set half my workshop on fire. So he's got no insurance, he's got no money either, so I'm not going to chase him really for that. The council don't want to know. They say that the issue's with the tenant, not with themselves, even though they don't have any policy for fires, and they are changing that now, so they're not allowing bonfires in their properties. This is very nicely built actually. It would have been. I might get a little bit of alcohol on that and just give it a wipe over so we can have see a little bit better. I'll do that. But so yeah, so I've been the last couple of months I've been trying to rebuild this place, and I just haven't really. Oh look, that doesn't help. That's probably why the light doesn't work. So that's completely come off. So that's fine. That's only a little control board with like a little meter. That's not really an issue. I think really we need to take the cells out. I'll try and work out how without destroying it, and then measure each individual 18650 and go from there. I don't know how these pull out. So yeah, we've been busy. The roof's nearly redone. I'm just trying to do it fund wise, trying to fund it a little bit at a time. Like for example, the fire brigade smashed both windows, and that's £1,000 worth of windows there, because they're tough and sort of big double glazed jobbies. They are huge. That one, and it's just, yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare. But it could have been worse. It could have been much worse. It could have been all my batteries, not just this one. Right, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go and grab some alcohol. Let's give this a wipe over and see what we can see. Right. Back again, let's give this a quick wipe. Shame about that board. You can see how much water is in this. It's really bad. This is like one of those programs you see where they pretend to find a tool in a, like a YouTube video where they pretend to find this tool in a bit of dirt. They pick it up and it all looks like this, and then they give it a scrub and pretend to make it brand new again. I wish it was like that, but no. This is faux real. So let's try and work out how to get this out of the casing. I don't really want to pry too much, but I'm guessing this whole thing will lift out the casing itself. Let's give that a go. Be careful not to short these, but to be honest, we've had one fire. Who cares if we have another fire? At least it'd be my own doing this time. There you go, he's just lifting up. Ooh. Not making good sounds. I don't like it. A little bit of prying from this side. I just didn't want to pry on the cell itself. Ooh. That is crusty. Bending the case in there a bit as well. Look at that. Annoying, because these are expensive and they're actually useful, so especially now doing the workshop roof. I've only got 2 other batteries. There we go, look at that. There's 2 rows there. Of course there is. Yeah, so I'm having to swap over from the tools quite a lot with the batteries. Oh no. Look at that. They have had a bad day. Warning, fire. Okay. They've definitely had a bad day. What I'll do now is I'll give these a quick clean up and let's test each pair maybe. Always test each cell first and see where we go. Oh. Not good. Not good. So I've got a couple of other videos in the works at the minute. I managed to run over my pressure washer because I left it out and then basically come up the driveway. Gave that a little bit of a squish. So the trusty Karcher. But what I have done, I've ordered a couple of upgrades for it. So I think what I'm going to do is bolt it to the wall. And then I've ordered like a lot longer of a hose. And a new nozzle, gun nozzle. I don't know if I can say the G word on YouTube, but pressure washer nozzle thingy. So I've ordered a new one of those, so they're on their way, and then I'll do a quick video and we'll upgrade that pressure washer and make it a bit more of a, I guess, a bit of a permanent feature with a nice 15-20 metre hose, and that should make it a lot easier to actually use rather than traipsing it around with that, what is essentially a couple of metres worth of hose. So this is all soldered down, so I guess that's like the BMS is there, the whole balancing circuit. So let's have a look on here, let's see what sort of voltage we get. I say, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything with this. It was just interesting to see what was inside, and a lot of rust. So what we'll do, we'll go across each cell. So we've got one, hopefully you can see that. Let's prop you up there. So we've got this, we might even treat you as well. Let's treat you to a bit of, there we go. Right, so 4 volts across that. I think I'm getting a bad ohmic connection there. There we go. 4.1 volt. 2 volts. Is that the dodgy cell already? No, again ohmic. Let's have a look on this next one. 4 volts. 4. I hope I'm going across the same. 4. I don't even know if I'm... There's loads of these. Wait, hang on a minute. What's going on? Where am I? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got lost then. 4. 4. 4. 4. Let's flip this round. Start on this end. Let's try this one, try and get good. Don't know if I'm just going through rust here. Let's try it on this plate here. Come on. Is that completely dead? 0.3 volts. And pardon me. So it looks like these are the 2 dead ends. So these front 2, which would make sense. In fact, you can almost see. No, I think that's, is that water got underneath? But yeah, if you look at these cells and then look at this one, I think that has been sitting in water. So I wonder if how we can fix this. I don't know. I'll do a bit of reading and we'll have a look. But it looks like these are the 2 kaput cells. The rest of them seem fine. Well, I might do a little bit of reading and see if we can replace these, because it would be nice to get this fixed as opposed to just chucking it in the bin, which is not great. The only thing is I could do with a spot welder, but we'll see. I'll try and get this to work. Right, I'll be back in a bit. And we're back again, a couple of weeks later. Not quite so sunny now in the UK, a little bit rainy and horrible, but good for the plants, isn't it? So what I have done since the last time I spoke to you, all of 30 seconds ago, was ordered one of these. So we've got a little spot welder, and that's for the contacts of these 18650 cells. So in my infinite wisdom, what we're going to do, we're going to try to cut these batteries out, these 18650 cells, and replace these 2 cells here. Give them an old tackety tack, both sides. We'll solder up, we'll clean up this board as well, and then we will solder the board back on, give it a proper clean, and fingers crossed we are good to go. So I've bought these replacement cells. They are labelled up as 3200 milliamp hours, which is no way, I don't believe it. So what we'll do though, first thing we'll do, be very careful here to break these are very cheap actually, too cheap. So but look okay. I wonder if they're just second-hand cells maybe, and they've just been re-sleeved. I wouldn't trust they're actually new. We'll check the voltage on them, because what we don't want, if these are low and then we introduce them to here, into here, these are all fully charged, and then what that will do is dump a load of current straight into these, potentially cause a bit of an issue. So first thing we'll do, we'll just check the voltage. I'll put it on a floating DC. Hopefully you can see that. So they're at slightly under, not that much though. Not too bad. And then we'll check the other one as well. Very similar, the same. So I may chuck these on charge, and then at least we've got all fully charged batteries, same as these guys over here. So the way this works, you can see on these tabs here, hopefully you can see that. See those little dots? And what that is this part of the electrode here, and that basically just welds and fuses the metal together. I was going to solder them originally, but you end up introducing a lot of heat into these batteries, into these cells, which is not ideal. So I think what I'll do, I'll run it as a bit of a time lapse, and I trim back these tabs, leave these tabs on, and then I'll run the new piece of, I guess it's nickel, and that will go across there like that. Hopefully you can see that. That will go across there, but I'll show you a bit once I've got it all mocked up, and then what we'll do is we'll spot weld them together. I'm not sure about this one. I might cut it here and try and prise that up, because I don't really want to have to resolder, but I will if I have to. And then eventually we'll clean that up, give that a solder as well. So what we'll do, I'll get those on charge, and then we'll have a bit of a play, a bit of a mock up. They don't look great though, do they? But we'll do that, we'll fast forward a lot of that, and then I'll get back to you when it's time to play with this thing, this pokey jabbery thing. New cells are in place now, and I've cut the tabs for it as well. So let's turn on this. I've had a little bit of a play with it off camera as well, so it's on an auto mode, second delay, and 5 milliseconds of preheat. So what we'll do, we'll give it a go. We should be able to, I might have to turn it up slightly, but we'll give it a go. Should be able to push it on. A second later, it will do its thing. So trying to do this without setting myself on fire. Go. Okay. Let's try again. If not, I might have to plug it in. It might just be low on battery. Really? Let's try on a bit of... See? That worked. So why aren't you working now? You silly sorridge. Let's try it here. Oh, it did it. Not quite powerful enough though, so let's increase the heat. Hopefully that showed up on camera. Oh, it's dangerous, isn't it? Me faffing around with bits of steel. See, that's a lot better. It seems to work okay there. Let's try again on here. Let's try on this one. Is there a lot of maybe too much oxide? It's not doing anything. Let's try it on a battery. Okay. I had it on gear 1 for some reason. I must have pressed the button again. Let's try it again on here. Really? Bit better. I don't like it. Let's plug it in, see if we get some more juice that way. That's it, that was a bit better. That was better. I have a feeling it needed to get through the oxide layer. That's much better. Ooh, it's exciting. Right. Exciting like a big fire. That's what it is. That was better. Has that done it again? Oh, that's a much better setting. I'm going to do another one here. Oh, that scared me. Maybe I wasn't pushing down hard enough before. Let's give this a go. No. Oh, I keep pressing the button. What a horrible place to put a button. Okay, we've got it plugged in. See if that makes any difference at all. This is a terrible bit of kit. Or maybe I'm just a bit dim. Right, 90. Let's give it a go. Do a thing. Oh, that was better. Oh, much better. Fairly positive spot welds. Right, let's try the batteria. I'm scared. I do have a fire extinguisher here as well. Look. Just in case. Still not quite right. That was better. Okay, this is all done. It's looking quite good actually. It's very secure, happy with that. So now I just need to make the tab to go across these two, then up and then connect to this wire here, and that should complete the circuit. So we'll cut that to size. Let's cut out some of these. We'll go to about, we'll go slightly over. Cut these corners off. Worries me, there's a lot of current that can run through here, and then that will fold down there, so yeah, happy with that. Let's put these on here like so, and then let's see if this behaves itself a bit better. So it's gone back to gear 99, delay, well, let's give that a go. That should be the highest setting. Hoping we're on some sort of, let's zoom you in a bit. Let's try that. Right, let's give it a go. Could go wrong. Bit better. Oh, that was better. Nope. Nope. Better. Oh. Okay, that worked quite well. I don't know why. I don't know why it worked that time. But it looked fairly good. Now I'm going to fold this tab over. Fold this tab over here, and we'll try and solder that to that. Some lovely lead-based solder. Hopefully we can get enough heat into this. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we are all done. Unfortunately, the battery indicator isn't working, but I sort of expected that to be broken. Look at the state of the back of that board. So I've soldered that back on, but non bueno. So let's have a quick measurement across the whole battery. Hopefully you can see that okay. 19.8 volts there, 19.7. Not looking too shabby. I've got some Captain tape. So what we'll do is I might clean up the contact slightly. I don't really need to, but that's horrible corrosion. So we'll clean that up a little bit. We'll get some Captain tape across that, and then we shall clean that, and then we'll get it on charge, and we'll see if it chooches. Right, let's go do that. Okay, first things first. Still doesn't work, but that's fine. Will it charge? Let's turn it on at the switch. No. Oh, I plugged the wrong thing in. Hold up. Now. Oh, thank God for that. Will it fizzle? Well, it's charging. That's a good sign. That's scary then. If you have a look, that's fine. Let's see if it works in the drill. Cool, happy with that. So what we'll do, we'll test, give this a little bit of a test out. I think it'd be fitting if we drilled through these old batteries, don't you think? Safety first. I've got the clamps on, clamp nice and hard, and let's drill through both of these. Only joking. Let's do a little test on wood. Excellent. Perfect. So I don't know how long this will last for, whether it will die in the next charge or next 5 or 6 charges or not at all. Who knows? But a good little project. I learned a little bit there. I learnt really, don't buy really cheap tools for spot welders, welding batteries. Mini handheld spot welder. That was the cheapest one I could find. It was a Temu special. That's not clamped, by the way, just so you know. Yeah, the cheapest spot welder. If I was going to do this again, I'd probably pay a little bit more, probably pay double, triple the price and get something that works properly. I did struggle with that, but as a one-off, not too bad. Yeah, it was a good little thing to learn. I'm quite happy with that. I'm happy I've got my battery back because, as you know, these are fairly expensive, these batteries. So yeah, it was nice to, and it was really my first time working with 18650 cells, other than sort of just putting them together and putting them in holders and whatnot. So actually to spot weld some tabs on is great fun. And like I say, every day is a school day. So I'm going to put this little sticker on, mainly so I know this is not, well, this is my homemade Chinese in battery. So I won't take that if I go and do something off site or whatnot. I won't take this one with me. Maybe I will, but maybe I'll just know that potentially it hasn't quite got the capacity of the other ones. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Something a little bit different. Seems the necessity at the minute, fixing, not just fixing tools and buying sort of copies of things. I'm having to actually fix quite a bit at the minute due to my next door neighbour, who's kindly sponsored this video by setting the lights in my workshop. And no, he hasn't paid for any of it. So right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give us all the likes and subs and bits and pieces like that. Trying to go for that magical 1,000 mark. And yeah, and let us know what I did wrong, what I didn't do wrong. Let us know also why this wasn't really working very well. I'm guessing it's corrosion. I did sand down the contacts, but I'm just guessing it was just overly corroded and it wasn't getting a good connection. But I don't know. Someone in the comments will be an expert and they'll know a lot more than I do. Next video will be probably the jet wash. I'm still waiting for the hose to come for that. It's been probably 2 months now, but that should turn up any minute, and then we can sort that jet wash out and make it a little bit of a better thing to have, because at the minute it's awful. And like I said, I run it over as well. So right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.